Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Anything More Where Anything Goes. My name is Miguel.
And I'm Brendan.
And folks, welcome to episode 106, where today we're covering Brendan's favorite movie of all time.
Star Wars!
Bad Boys, Ride or Die. No, I'm just kidding. We didn't want to go watch that fucking movie.
I forgot it was coming out.
Yeah.
I didn't care.
Apparently the internet really likes it.
I'm done with Will Smith.
You know what the internet doesn't like?
What?
Star Wars The
Yes,
Acolyte.
they do.
What we're talking about today.
I'm fucked up.
You fucked up?
I'm not. I keep fucking up.
Brandon, you fucked up?
Yeah, I'm
It's
fucked
11:30 in the morning.
I had 2 coffees. I'm gone.
Man, I'm just so fucking blessed. So, we're not going to look at the budget for The Acolyte because it's a TV streaming show on Disney+. Plus.
Doesn't fucking matter. It's too much.
Can you tell me what the Rotten Tomatoes is? I'm going to ask you for both. It's going to be the critical score and then the audience score.
The critical score, I'm going to give like a 75 to an 82. Around there.
Okay. And the audience?
The audience, I heard it got review bombed, so I'm going to go 13.
The critic is certified fresh at a 91.
Fuck you.
And the audience is a 31.
Damn.
Listen, okay.
I'd say it's in between those.
I was thinking about this in the shower the other day. First of all, we took a week off, so it's going to be very strange getting back into the
that's why
podcast
I'm
right
not
now.
in the flow of things
Exactly,
right
me
now.
neither. And then there's no liquor. And the liquor is always like the nice little lubricant. Anyway, I was thinking about this in the shower, right? I am someone that defends so much shit from so many different franchises,
Yes.
right? Since Disney bought Star Wars, I loved episode 7. I'm fine with 8. I hated 9.
Yes.
The Mandalorian, first 2 seasons, stellar. We don't talk about the third one. The Book of Boba Fett,
It was there.
that 1.5 episodes of The Mandalorian in the middle is really good. Everything
And the
else
first
is bad.
episode was really cool because you got the Patton
Yeah.
Oswalt intro that he did in the filibuster
Exactly,
of Parks
and
and
it's
Rec.
super good.
Which I found out that he talked to Kevin Feige, or
And
not
then,
Kevin Feige.
Filoni.
Yeah, and they did it shot for shot. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Which is fucking cool.
Yeah.
Ahsoka,
It had its moments,
you had
but it was too long. It could have been a movie.
I thoroughly enjoyed Ahsoka, and as a movie, it would have worked better. But let me tell you, after this fucking show, I didn't hate it. But I am now totally on the goddammit, why does Disney have Star Wars train?
Yes.
Because it's not even that the
Is it
show's
the media?
not good.
It's the media about it, the interviews.
No.
No.
No, it's the fact that Disney just doesn't fucking understand what Star Wars is.
Which
just because you put people in the Jedi robes and you give them a lightsaber does not mean you get the vibe of what Star Wars is.
And George Lucas just said that recently.
he just came out.
He's
like,
like, they really don't get what the Force is, but at the same time, I sold it, so what are you going to do?
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Although I love all the reports that he's going to come back and
Please do.
Please
How
do.
is Kathleen
You know
still
what's so
in charge?
funny, though? Is if he comes back and they're just like, oh yeah, George, you can. First of all,
Retcon all of it.
No, no,
Disney, tear down the park that's centered around those movies, build a new one.
No, Galaxy's Edge is so cool. Don't do that.
I don't-
If he comes in, they're not going to just throw away the canon because it's Disney and they're going to go, no, these made a lot of money and we
Yes.
have merchandise. They're just going to go, you can do whatever. Yeah, go ahead.
Galaxy's Edge is really cool, but I
It is.
don't have a love for it because I don't have a connection to it. If they made it Tatooine instead, I think it would have been a lot
I would
cooler.
agree. It's cool in the sense that you go in there and you're like, oh, Star
Star
Wars.
Wars, but, like,
it's
I'm like-
also, when we go, we're only in there for
Yeah.
maybe a half hour, or we go on one ride, it's like 45 minutes.
You go to Disney and you're supposed to be like, oh, look at that, look at that. That's from this,
Exactly,
is that. This
exactly.
I go, there's the Millennium Falcon, and what the fuck is this?
Yes.
Where
and
am
then
I?
there's like a First Order ship, and sometimes
Yeah, I'm
Kylo
like,
Ren comes out.
it means nothing.
Yeah. It's because it's so small, there's really not a lot. They're like, look at the walls, it's got the language. And you're
Yeah.
like,
The language, yes. Future slums.
No.
Ooh.
nothing about Darth Vader or
Kylo Ren, who shows up once in a while.
yes, or the stormtroopers
When
who
the
walk
stormtroopers
around.
came out and I got
They bring out a
anxiety 'cause I'm
droid,
like,
it's super
don't
cool.
talk to me. I don't want to talk to you.
Please don't talk to me. I know you're a character, but I don't want to talk
I
to
don't
you
want
at
to
all.
have this conversation.
So the Acolyte. The story so far to me is fine. It's just the vibe. It's another fucking show shot in the volume with a bunch of people where they're just throwing stuff in. They're saying, look at these robes, look at these characters. They have a lightsaber,
Yeah.
but it doesn't feel like Star Wars.
No.
It
They don't, it's too small.
yes.
And Disney has this, I don't know if it's just due to the volume and everything.
I think it's completely due to the volume.
Everything
it's
they do
all
just
these
feels so
middle
small.
center shots of two people talking, and there's
Yeah.
nothing else going
And
on.
there's nothing there. At the beginning, you have them in the Jedi Temple. You see one room.
Yes.
Only one room.
Yes.
Yoda's around. He's 700.
Yes,
they
he is.
confirmed that. No Yoda. Other green lady.
And I love that that's the only thing that they're waiting on.
Yeah.
Everybody's just like, I'm waiting for Yoda to show
Can
up.
you give me
His
something
little
I know?
Marvel cameo.
Which is just like, I don't necessarily need that because of whatever, but at the same
No.
time, like, it's Yoda. I don't know where he was as far as in the order.
You're
but
going to tell me that he's not going to show up and go,
Yeah, once.
and you're not going to go,
You know what would be funnier
Yeah.
than actually having him is they're walking in the hallways in the Jedi Temple
Yes.
and everything. And you don't see Yoda, but you hear him in the background having a conversation. You hear the and everyone's like, "Was that Yoda?" But you don't see him or anything.
no, it's a different green lady. What do you think of this show? We're not going to, so
We'll get into the
we
everything
will
extra.
get political.
Yes, not political.
Surface level.
We're gonna get violent.
The same thing. But we'll save it for later. Okay. Do you want to talk story?
The show on its own, going in and expecting it, I want to tell you how I feel about that.
That's fine.
I don't hate it as much as other things I've watched recently for Star Wars,
Mm.
but we're only 2 episodes in. They're building a story and a dynamic that's cool.
Exactly.
Because you got the twins, which is the nice yin and yang, the light side and dark
I
side.
enjoyed that. Another dyad of the Force.
Dyad kind of thing. I hate that they're rehashing it so closely.
I hate
but
that
like
they're
the fact
going,
that it's twins.
Hey, look, we're doing this again. It's another dyad in the Force. Because we did it in 9, you guys have to deal with it. We did it already.
And what I don't like about it is
Everything else.
Usually when you do it, you kind of have like someone who's like more along the lines of what the fuck's his name who plays Darth Maul? Sam Whitaker? Is that his name? No.
Yeah, Whitaker's, he does the voice.
Okay, so he does that.
My mind's eye.
Yeah. So when I think of someone who's like a light side and a dark side kind of thing, I expect someone who can probably do something like him, where like you shave his head, he's got scars, he looks like he's clearly the dark side, and the other one he's like
It's a fantastical world. You have to make them look fantastically
you
evil.
put whatever. This, they're like, okay, we're gonna have the good one and the bad one. How do you tell when the one's the bad one? Well,
she has a big.
Her dreads are a little bit longer.
She got a big.
And she's got a scar on her face. It's a tattoo that the hair also covers 90% of the time.
Except for when they need it to glow for plot.
Yeah, yes.
Then it shows up.
So just like I'm like, if you're gonna do that, do something more with it, and that's what it seems like a lot of the show and a lot of their other shows.
Yeah.
They have all these really cool ideas, and then they just kind of like throw you a little bit of a bone, and then go, well, we'll explain it in another one, and we're gonna build on it. We're gonna no, give it to me now. Show me what the fuck this is.
How am I supposed to grow to love a character if you're going to be so ambiguous about what they are and what they're doing?
Flush this out.
Exactly.
And then I watched a fucking video on the breakdown of the show, and the Sith Lord in this, I'm gonna fucking stab Kathleen Kennedy.
Is it another green mist?
No.
Damn.
There's 2 Sith Lords it could be based on the timeline. There's the appropriate Sith Lord, who's the one who trains Darth Plagueis, or because it's Star Wars and Kathleen Kennedy and like fucking with things, they think it's gonna be Darth Plagueis already, is the main villain in the timeline that we're currently in. And I know they're gonna fuck him up, but the person that you saw wasn't Darth Plagueis, it was Darth Plagueis' apprentice, which may or may not, depending on how old he is.
But at this point, the rule of 2 exists.
Be Palpatine. So he's now looking for an apprentice himself to overthrow.
So you're hold on.
So
just to unpack what you just said, right? I would love for us to come back to this in like 7 weeks and be like, wow, we were totally fucking wrong. So you're telling me that the Sith Lord is the apprentice of Darth Plagueis because Darth Plagueis is going to show up because they know that they can get nostalgia pulls and things that people already know.
And he's trying to
the
overthrow
apprentice
Darth
that
Plagueis.
she is being trained by is Palpatine.
Possibly.
I hate this.
I don't know how old he is. It could be a completely different Sith altogether, but he's still under Darth Plagueis, but we know because Palpatine is his apprentice that he will fail in this endeavor.
There was a lot of talk, especially like with Ahsoka coming around, because you know in the Rebel show they go like into the world between worlds and it's like time travel and shit. There was a lot of talk of like a possible Star Wars like time travel or multiverse kind of thing. And I don't listen. I don't want any of that. But I could totally see the fucked up nature of Star Wars right now at Disney, of them being like, yeah, the MCU using the multiverse saga, let's just do something similar because people know what it is. Of them going, on the last episode, the guy takes off the mask because he's dying and it's fucking like Darth Maul. And everyone's like, look, this is what you wanted. And we go, no!
I can see what they're doing. And I'm going to kill someone.
What are they doing?
I'm going to kill someone. So what they're doing is, you know that game that came out a while ago where you put them on a little stand and no matter what it was all Disney properties? And like
Skylanders.
Back to the Future?
No, Disney Infinity.
Yes. They want that as their movie franchises, so that way when you go to Disney World and everything like that, they're like, it's all intertwined. Look, it's all one and the same.
That's why Star Wars is going to show up in Kingdom Hearts 4.
And that's why Star Wars and Marvel and everything is going to overlap. And
we're going to get Endgame. They're just going to call it Avengers Endgame Part 2, the Return of the Star Wars. And then they open the portals and Darth Vader comes through and he's just like...
No, you think it's too small. It's Disney, Battle of the Multiverses.
Elsa. Doctor Strange.
Exactly. You're gonna have the Disney Princess Squad. You're gonna have the Star Wars Squad. You're gonna have whatever. Who are they all gonna fight? Bob. I don't know.
Thanos again.
Thanos again. All the Thanoses.
It's the multiverse of Thanos.
He knows the Force. He has a lightsaber. You know.
But that'd be so cool.
No, stop. You're the problem.
No, it would suck.
It's
right?
cool in a YouTube video, not a movie.
Exactly. In theory, stupid as shit. But you're going to tell me if you went to the movies and out of nowhere it was just every Disney property coming through portals and it's just Thanos, and instead of him being like, oh, I have the stones or something, he's like...
Fuck it up, just combine everything, give him the Fat Thor long hair and Cap shield and have him go, I could do this all day. And you're like, what? None of this makes any sense.
What's the canon saying? And then it's just like, no, it's Thanos from another universe, so infinite. And you go...
You got fucking Marty McFly sitting over there shaking, going, Doc, I don't like this.
What's Thanos gonna do, Doc? That's fucked up. Michael J. Fox is a good guy.
I just saw an interview with him and it got a lot worse, which is why it was on my mind. Yeah, it's
that's
sad.
why you. Okay, so let's
Just
talk.
because it's sad doesn't mean you can't make a joke.
I agree. Let's talk about the cast.
Yes, let's get back to what the show actually is, not our hypothetical universe.
Thanos beating up all of Disney properties. It's just Thanos against Song of the South.
I don't think they can pull that one off anymore. They closed the fucking ride for it. This is gone.
Have you seen the walkthrough? The ride looks the same.
Because
they redid it.
They gave it a fresh coat of paint.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
With the cast.
Yes.
Carrie-Anne Moss.
Tell me who they are and
Carrie-Anne Moss is the woman from The Matrix, who is part of all of the marketing and only shows up in the first scene.
They're
going to
have flashbacks over people who already picked it up, but I don't care for her.
Neither do I. I've never really enjoyed her.
No, she always seems a little bit too serious.
Yeah.
And just kind of like one note, just.
You know who I do like?
But I haven't seen her in everything, and I also really didn't watch The Matrix, so.
No, neither did I. Got to the first one. The first one's really good.
Okay.
Daphne Keane.
Yes.
From Logan fame.
She's really good.
She's so fucking good.
She's charismatic. Yes. She's funny. She's actually funny. British.
Yeah. Do you remember in Logan, the only thing she says is just screaming little girl Spanish?
Yeah.
She doesn't sound like that at all.
Like, I always assumed because of that movie she was Hispanic.
That's what I thought.
Because she speaks British, she may be British in, like, just regular Spanish. I don't know.
Well, unless she has orange eyeliner and spikes coming out of her head.
Yeah, so, you know.
Super fucking cool.
And white skin, like, powdered wig white.
And she got the paddle-on little fucking ponytail?
Yeah, it's really weird character design.
Dude, speaking of that, the robes in the High Republic?
Yeah.
I like them a lot.
Really clean.
Like the gold and white.
I hate them on the dude.
Oh, Lee Jun.
I fucking hate him.
Why?
He
learned English just to play the role. Are we talking about the same guy?
I don't think so. No, not the dude from Squid Games.
Okay.
Like, that one dude speaks pretty good English.
Okay, so we have to touch on the interview then, because you're just talking about that guy who fucked up.
No, because I don't like him because he has the stupidity and angst of Anakin without any of the coolness and just quirkiness, and I hate it.
Yes. I also hate his hair.
Yeah, it's really bad.
I don't know why.
People are making fun of it. They're like, they took the fucking anime video game hair and just put it on everything, and now we're getting it live action.
Do we have to talk about the interview of him passionately mixing up Anakin and Luke? Because so many people are angry about it, and like I don't give a shit. But I love that if you go again, I'm gonna talk about the comments. If you go through the comments on Instagram of like any of the clips, every single person is like, "How the fuck you don't know the difference between them, man?" Like, it's not that. I get it. It's not that serious.
It is though, because he did it twice. If you did it the first time,
did he do it twice and like double down?
Yeah, in different interviews. So that's what I'm saying. Even if he got that wrong, someone in Disney should have went, "Hey man, you fucked that up. Next time, just be like, oh yeah,
of course." Because I'm sure there's a whole debriefing of them being like, "Look, this is a very toxic fan base that's very torn. They're going to say these things."
No, fuck it, fuck all of that. Blame the fans. Fuck them. No, and it's just like, what are you doing? And and the fact that he doubled down on it again. And his character is the most annoying one in the show. The guy from Squid Games, great. The girl from Logan, great.
Yes. Amanda Stenberg, who's the villain and the hero. Not charismatic enough to be the lead.
Not at all, no. But she's
as a villain, she's kind of cool.
The character's interesting enough, but she's not doing a whole lot with it. So here's the problem again: it's the Disney problem.
Yes.
With their villains are all one-dimensional or bullshit. So I'm waiting to see if they fill her out or if she's just going to be this.
Maybe she'll turn into Green Mist again.
What are you talking about with the green mist?
From Ahsoka. Remember the guy in the armor? And then everyone's like, "Oh, I wonder what he is." Yeah. And then he dies. He's just green smoke.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Exactly. I'm hoping that they do the same thing.
He's going to put it on a mask. Well, who does he look like? Don't worry about it. I got a plan.
He doesn't actually look like anybody. It's fine.
He's nothing. Force ghost.
Okay.
It was also really weird seeing someone die and not turn into a Force ghost because before that people knew about that, really. Exactly, so they're just dead and they just flop and you're like, oh, I didn't like that.
That's so sad.
Yeah, that's weird.
Other little things I wanted to touch on.
Oh, that's a couple.
One of the things that people talk about a lot is how thick the lightsabers look because it's not effects done after the fact. It's not green screen or anything. It is literal LEDs so that way they react in the environment.
Yeah.
But because of that, it makes the lightsabers just really fucking thick and chunky.
Yeah.
I hate that shit. I hate how slow they move, and I've said this about the sequel trilogy because it's the same shit.
Yeah.
I hate how slow they move. I hate the way they look. I hate the way that the lights reflect off people.
Okay.
I don't like it.
Like all that, but it needs to be toned down a little bit.
Agreed.
What I don't like is the change of the fighting style that they were talking about in this. This is more of a defensive, like monk, like fighting defensive art, and the other one was based off of the martial arts that they used to help create fencing, and it really shows because it's sword fighting, and now you're going into other martial arts that don't involve swords, and you're like, oh, but this is a different kind of Jedi. Like, why would you get trained in something that doesn't involve your main weapon? Who's doing that? We're not going into the military, and today they're going, okay, today
crazy too,
we're going to weaponize boomerangs. No.
Throw the boomerang, it has a bomb.
Here's a fucking gun, this is how you use it.
So, and what's so funny too, I hate this is also things I've said before already. I hate the changes in combat, right? Because you went from very little during the original trilogy. I get that.
Yes.
In the prequels, very fast.
This needs to be closer to that.
It does. And what's funny too is they're gonna go, oh no, it's a different time period, whatever. If you watch any fucking video of the canon Old Republic, every single person in the Old Republic when the Jedi are in their prime, backflips. Like a double-bladed and then a single-bladed, and then they're moving shit because they're using the Force.
That's what the prequels are.
And in the High Republic,
the tail end of what you're seeing. These people who
it's
train
the
these
Jedi
people
at their peak.
The other ones you could see, they're like you got taught by people who weren't necessarily trained their whole life. I could see how
there's an excuse in the originals and the sequel trilogy,
but
not now.
This should be the cleanest lightsaber fighting you've ever fucking seen.
Why is it so fucking difficult?
Because Kathleen is a dumbass.
How has she been in charge for almost 10 years?
The only thing that is coming to mind is the song "Lifestyles of the Rich and the Famous," where you
of the Rich and the Famous.
If you ever get caught smoking crack, McDonald's wouldn't even want to take you back, but you could always just run for mayor of DC. Any other regular person in a day-to-day would get fired doing what she's doing, but for some reason, because she's so almighty and powerful, she's not allowed to get fired because she's Kathleen Kennedy.
Yes, because people know her name, and it's also from a monetary standpoint. It's the sequels made money. People hate them.
Okay.
But they made money. And that's all that matters. You know that. Nothing in terms of what we think or as fans or whoever matters. If they go to the box office and episode 7 makes $2 billion, or if episode 8 goes and it makes $1.5 billion, and people go, oh, I hate this isn't Star Wars, but it still makes the money and they're in profit by over $1 billion.
But you could do that with anything. So why
why
not make it better? Like, we're giving you feedback. You're just
give a shit.
No, and that's why it's so infuriating, because it's a blatant fuck you to the fans.
It is.
And what I hate now is that it's going on long enough to where there's fans now who are like, no, this is fine. This is Star Wars. And it's
because we're used to the pain.
No, but I'm talking about, it's been around so long now that you have younger fans.
Star Wars fans that grew up
watching this, and it's not just like, oh, it's not the Star Wars I grew up with.
It is the Star Wars that they know.
It's just, no, but I'm saying for us, like, not liking it, I'm like, no, you're taking the fundamentals, and even the creator is saying you're not doing what this is. If you want to take this, make a space opera, do whatever, slap a Disney label on it, call it something else. It's not Star Wars.
You could call it Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire.
It'll still be bad, but guess what? It's not Star Wars. I want to talk about something that I really didn't like in the show.
Is it going to be the political spot yet? Okay.
The dumb things that do not make sense that I don't want to hear a single fucking person in the comments go, it's fantasy, man, what aren't you getting? He's on the outside of the spaceship, and a fucking fire burst in the flames. In the vacuum of space, and not just like a fireball or whatever, flames. Like whipping in wind. What wind? Where is it? What's happening? Then she's just like, oh man, this ship is going down from not just orbit, but fucking space. This ship is coming down. Better just get in and put on my seatbelts. Crashes. They cut to the crash. This thing's coming in like this. They go to the crashing. It's coming in like a landing plane. And I'm like, that's not she's fucking dead, first of all. That ship is in pieces. It may have burned up.
The scientific aspect here does not make sense.
So fucking bullshit. Then she straps herself in, and then when she wakes up, she's out of the chair,
flown
on
somewhere
the floor, flung somewhere. She was wearing 4 seatbelts. All the belts broke in the chair, but not a scratch on you.
No,
not
fine.
one. And then I was like, oh, it was in her head. That makes more sense. And then what happens? She stands up in the same spot again. I'm like, you guys.
Brendan, it's the Force.
No! No! No!
Bad ape! Oh no! That's gotta be a meme. Oh, it's the Force! Oh no!
It's so upsetting.
Bad ape.
I used the Force, but then I also couldn't grab the Force because, I haven't been with the Jedi in a while, and I'll give them that. It was a little upsetting, but at the same time. So there was like, well, people complained that the girl in, what is it, Sven or whatever the fuck her name was, in Ahsoka, the one with the purple hair, who's just
purple hair girl.
Yeah. We're fans.
I'll find her name.
And, She's just like, oh yeah, I'm training now. Oh, I have the Force immediately, and everyone went, what the fuck is that? But then this one who was training with the
Sabine
Jedi,
Wren.
yes, Sabine.
Sen.
I was close. She's like, I was training with everyone, but I left 6 years ago. And I'm like, you still did it like for like a solid 5-6 years. You should be able to use the Force.
Even just a little bit.
Yeah, it's not like it goes away. It's like riding a bike and easier once you like remember how to.
Because it's literally all around you in the
Yes,
metachlorians and
and you know
things.
within you. And,
Just because you quit doesn't mean the metachlorians like die.
no, they go away. It's not a muscle. I mean, maybe a little bit.
It could be a little bit
It's
of a
little
muscle.
bit of a muscle.
Let's talk about some of the positives, okay?
Okay.
Because we're complaining a lot
Where
because
are
it's
they?
Star Wars. Listen, when we first spoke about it, there's things that really pissed us off, but on the whole, the show it's too early.
I'm optimistic.
And the show is fine. It's not great. There are things that we can complain about, but on the whole, it's not a bad show yet.
yes.
It definitely
not a bad show yet.
It has like, if there's 2 more episodes like this, bad show.
Bad show.
Bad show halfway in.
Yes.
Things that I liked. The Jedi being portrayed as assholes. Great. Because this is part of what leads to their downfall, because they get too political and they think they're the good guys, but they keep doing stuff that seems good but isn't the right stuff to do.
Well, even in the prequel trilogy, a lot of what you're seeing that leads to the dark side being whatever is they become too cold in an effort
Yes.
to avoid darkness, but by
Yes.
being so cold, they create
They
it.
create it, yes.
Yes.
And that feels like, it definitely feels like they were more emotional before, and like hypothetically, because
Yeah.
I've never read anything about the High or the Old Republic. It feels like there was emotion prior to it and they cared about each other, and then it became more angry during the High Republic. So by the time you get to the modern Republic, it's we need to be cold and feel nothing because clearly what we did before didn't work, and what we did originally didn't work because it led to this.
Yes.
So we'll do neither.
Because the problem is, for people who are so knowledgeable about this, it is, I know I keep saying this, but it's just yin and yang. And you
Yes.
can't have light without dark,
Yes.
and they're insistent on having just light. And instead of dealing with the dark and trying to help whatever, they're just like, no, we have to snuff it out, and like, as long as there's nothing, we are good.
Exactly.
And then they're like, but we need balance. I'm like, dude, there's like 4 million of you and 2
2 of them.
Sith.
Yes.
Does it matter?
The rule of 2.
Yes.
That's it.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you liked? Because even though we're complaining about the choreo, I like the choreo here more than I do in the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
And through even Obi-Wan. Like, a lot of Obi-Wan's choreography really disappointed me because we were hoping for prequel-esque.
Yeah.
This feels like it's more hands-on, but it's still wrong.
I gotta be honest, I don't remember a lot of lightsaber usage in this.
No.
Because
I
they're-
just mean choreography in general. Like, there's really not a ton of lightsabering. I do love that there's just constant threatening from the one guy that you hated with the hair.
Yeah.
How he's constantly just like, you're under arrest and I'm going to slit
Well,
your
yeah,
throat.
because someone brought it up online. He's just the way too eager cop who's going to shoot someone
Yes.
by accident just because he really wants to prove that he could do it.
He'll probably turn.
Yeah, probably. He's got too much going on. It's whatever. She's got the anger. I feel like they could also do what they did with the teasing that they did in episode like 9 and stuff, or like 8, where like maybe they'll switch. Maybe the
Maybe
twins
they'll
will
swap
be
sides.
and do whatever, because she shows that she
Yeah.
has a lot of anger, but the other one, the moment she saw her sister, she seemed like she had like some relief
Yeah.
or whatever. I could be reading too much into this.
We're also still only 2 episodes in.
2 episodes in, yeah.
And I mean, by the time that this episode goes up, it's going to be the day that the 3rd episode comes out. So that's really funny.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot to go off of.
No.
And that's just one of those other things that I don't know if it's because of the Luke, I'm your father reveal kind of thing or whatever, where they're always trying to be like, well, what's going to happen? It's
Exactly.
like, just give me the fucking
Just
content.
fucking give me
Just
something and build
give me
instead
a
of
story.
just.
It's the
Mysterious
J.J.
isn't
Abrams
good.
effect of if you keep teasing and never give, you don't.
You lose the audience.
Yes, there's nothing there. There's no point in doing any of this. And I was watching a whole video. This guy did like a video essay on him. J.J. Abrams doesn't know how to do payoff. He knows how to build really well, but then can't finish. And that's why they handed the series off to other directors, but then those other directors fucked it up, and then they gave it back to him to finish, which is what he can't do, which is why it was fucked up.
Edging.
Yes. Disney or the new edgelords.
So the last thing we'll talk about for the Acolyte.
Oh,
The
yes.
politics.
Yes. Let's finally get into this. The gayest
So
Star Wars yet.
again, right? In terms of background, because this is going to be a video that a bunch of people see who don't know who we are.
Yes.
We are not anti-LGBTQ.
No.
We're just very vocal about the fact that you don't need to call every single Star Wars show and every character super gay.
Because that you're just stuffing
You're just
it
mad
in.
about one thing.
You're stuffing it in there to stuff it in there. And that's what I don't like about it.
It's different if it's inclusivity and it's representation.
Yes.
It's another thing if you
When
go
90% of the Jedi population is gay. Doesn't really add up.
yes. If it's a completely different it's more pandering and forced than
Yeah.
it is representation, and that means it's not necessarily
Yeah, you don't
good.
feel like if you're gonna put someone in a show or whatever or a movie and have them
Make it feel natural.
be gay, have it feel natural. The best way I can show that is like the first season of Sex Education with his best friend and everything, and how they built that character.
Yes,
and
he's
it
a
was great.
genuinely good and compelling character.
And he's great.
Yes,
But then in this, they're just like, I'm gay. And no, I'm just gay.
that is my entire personality.
Thank
you will love that.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, that's not. What are you doing here?
Like little things in this, right? Because we've complained about it before.
God damn it. That's gonna get clipped.
What?
It's just me going, I'm gay.
Yes, it is. I wasn't gonna do it, but now I am.
Fuck.
Little things, right? It's in when they were arresting her in the first episode, and they go to her and they're talking about her backstory, and it's an exposition dump instead of just showing a character build up, and they go, "Oh, you lost your moms and your sister, and everybody's dead." That to me felt almost good. Almost right.
Yeah.
It was wrong in the sense that it was an exposition dump in the first episode when we have no idea who anyone's names are.
Yeah.
It's in terms of the subject matter.
You
Fine.
could have easily showed it too. I
Exactly.
don't know why, but I can
Like,
tell.
like you already showed a fucking dream sequence. Just show the dream sequence. Like the sisters are there. Show the parents dying. Show the backstory.
I think it's because you're not supposed to know what's real in the backstory, so they're not showing you everything. But
then they revealed it instantly that there's twins.
Yes, but the twins have two different stories on what's going to happen, or what happened.
Of what did happen, yes.
So I think that's why they're not really showing really what did. But even if you wanted to, show the full sequence from both perspectives. Give me that. Don't just say it.
Exactly.
But I do have to say, as much as we're complaining and everything about like these characters not being fully developed and them just being like gay is the personality, I haven't really seen anyone who was officially gay.
I would agree.
Yet, even though the director has a famous interview that's all over the internet of them going, "This is the gayest Star Wars yet."
What is the one thing she said that bothered you so much?
Well, first of all, she said that C-3PO was obviously gay, which
unspoken.
I can't argue with that
That's
one.
an unspoken thing that everybody's
It was
known.
never really a thought that I had.
He's
but
also
like,
a robot that doesn't have genitalia or the need to reproduce.
No,
so.
no. So like, but like she brought that up, and I'm like, I never really thought of it like that, but I could see where you're coming from. And then she said R2-D2 was a lesbian. How? How? In what way? Who plays R2-D2? A man.
He's dead.
In a can. No genitalia, like you brought up. No words. No sexual interest of any kind.
No.
But clearly R2-D2 is a lesbian. What?
It's just those R2 units, man. They're just, those astromechs are just, no.
And that's what I fucking hate, is that you can clearly tell that they're just saying shit to say shit.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be like, oh, these fans are toxic. No, you're just saying
You're poking a bear with an electric stick when it's just you and the bear in the woods and no one to help you.
You know it's not good enough to get people to watch on its own, so you need to create controversy every time to make people watch it.
Because any press is good press.
And that's what's really annoying about all these characters, and that's why they're so empty, because I don't think they genuinely give a shit. They're just using it as a jumping off point to be like, hey, look at this show. When, you know what my original excitement was for this? High Republic, Star Wars, yes, please. That's
100%
all I needed.
Agreed. When this was announced years ago, we were like, oh, it's the first show to take place in the High Republic.
And I thought Taika Waititi was supposed to be doing it.
No, fuck him. Lightsabers, fun choreo, a whole new story. That's great.
The
but
prime
it's
of
clear,
everything, and guess what? It all looks the same, too.
Exactly. It's clear that Disney does not know how to do Star Wars without leaning...
Or story, or
no, hold on.
No,
they don't know how to do Star Wars without leaning on nostalgia and the Skywalkers.
And
everything
they
they've
took
done.
that away.
They did.
Now what did they lean on? What did they lean on? Exactly.
That's the problem. That's why the show is so bad. I want to come back to this in the end when we talk about it, the finale, and hopefully have a much more positive review to give.
It was shit. I wasted my time.
We said the whole time, the boys wipes the fucking floor with this. Homelander would murder the shit out of all.
Good stories.
All right, you want to move on?
Sure.
Next on our list of stuff, now is the part of the episode where, the whole Star Wars was the review. That's what we're going to edit down. Now it's just whatever the fuck we want.
Yes.
MoviePass, Moviecrash, a new documentary on Max.
I didn't realize there was a whole bunch of illegal stuff going on with that when I watched it. I was just like, oh, what's going on?
It's a common sense. They said, all right, $10 a month, unlimited movies.
I remember walking out of the theater one day and looking at my card and just being like, I don't get it. I really don't.
How are they making any money?
This is $10. Even if they give them a 50% discount, that's assuming I'm going once a month.
Yes.
I was here 4 times this week.
Couple things that blew me away during the MoviePass Moviecrash. First of all, They had no deals with any fucking
No
cinema.
one,
It
not
was just
one.
straight up debit cards that they were loading money on and people were abusing. How is it going to bomb? Duh. The original plan when it was like $25 a month, you could see 3 movies a month.
Yeah.
Makes more sense from a monetary perspective. Gotti? The movie that we saw that was
hated.
like the worst movie we've ever seen was a MoviePass original.
Which is probably why we went to go see it.
That's
Honestly,
so funny.
It was one of the options we had.
It's one of the only times we went to a theater that wasn't like an AMC near us.
Yeah, but I like that we had the option for
I
that,
agree,
which
yes.
is why that was so fun.
I'd much rather now A-list though, because
A-list
A-list
is so
we could
good.
totally just go see Dolby or IMAX.
Yes.
It's still $25
and
a month.
AMC is so big, you're always within like
AMC
10
just
miles.
does not give a shit.
Yeah. But it's just, if they came out of the gates going, hey, it's $10 a month promotional, if you put the word promotional on that from the beginning,
It'd be different.
people are aware that it's going to change.
Yeah.
But because you just went, it's $10 a month, nah, it's fine.
Yeah.
You could
the
never
minute that
change
you
it.
up the price, you're going to lose all of your customer bases.
Yeah. It's also really funny because you got these two guys in it and they're like, oh, it's just fucked up that like these white people came along and like pushed a black guy out and it's whatever and everything. And I'm like, yeah, that is really
That's
fucked up.
up.
And like, I want to feel bad for you, but I could also tell based on the photos of your house that you still have millions of dollars.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I
they
really don't
totally-
give a fuck.
He totally has money and they paid him out. Like the money's not the point.
No.
But it's I could totally, because right, I don't remember any of their names. The one dude with the beard, with the fucked up looking like chin beard shit.
Yeah.
I recognize him
Yeah.
from MoviePass in general, between the app and the website and whatever. The fact that the two creators
Yeah.
were really that pushed out that I have no idea who the fuck they were until
Yeah.
we watched this. Wild.
Yeah.
Very.
What I
Not
love
good.
is how it seemed like the one bald, I think his name is actually Shelby or something like that.
Sure.
The bald one with the glasses.
You could say his name is Testicle. I'd say you're right.
That's a little rude.
That's a little rude.
But I love that he came back and like MoviePass is now a thing again. You can still get
MoviePass is a thing again?
That's how it ended. In 2023, he started up the company and they're making a profit. He has an actual profit right now, unless it went out of business within a year again.
Hold on. Because it's done the right way. That's why we have no idea what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Because there's 3 different plans. There's $10 per month, three movies a month. $20 a month, 4 movies a month. $30 a month, 5 movies a month. It's based on a credit system. Oh, there's even more plans.
It seems like the cheapest one they actually still lose money on, but if you buy the bigger one, it's better for them.
Well, yeah, it's $10, but they only see 3 movies.
Still, going to Dolby, right? I mean, going to AMC for a standard ticket is like $15 for a standard ticket.
Agreed.
So it's still $45 a month. They're still losing like 3
They're
times
still
the amount
losing
like, that
money.
they're pulling in.
Well, because in theory, everyone's going to sign up for the premium because they could see more movies, and then
Yeah.
they're not going to see all those movies.
Yes.
They're going to forget about it, which is how everybody gets got for fucking subscription services.
Everything, yeah.
As much as right, because it's a nostalgia thing, that's why we're talking about MoviePass, because you and I had it for a couple years.
And they just came out with this documentary.
Exactly. As much as I love that, A-list is such a finesse.
It's so good.
I will not be going back to.
And you know what's funny? You know they're not losing money because they still charge me $9 for my soda,
bottle
which was
of
my
water?
ticket price anyway.
Oh yeah. But it's still good because then you get like the reward points. You just scan
Oh
your
yeah.
thing.
I just spent $80. Here's 5.
I like it.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we wind up going to the movies every time I get a soda for Timmy and I. It's like $15 for soda. But then every month, I
Yeah.
wind up having like 2 or 3 rewards. And then one of the days we go and it's free.
My favorite thing is just going there and being like, I got the A-list. I get to go in the short line for the thing. And then everyone else and their mother has A-list. So
Yeah.
the regular line's empty.
Everybody's
So I
doing the
just
same
go
thing.
into that one.
It doesn't matter,
No,
right?
it
The
doesn't.
finesse, regardless, is because you and I have not gone to a regular. We've gone to a regular movie maybe once in the last couple years.
Yes.
Every other thing we've been to is IMAX or Dolby. It's
Which
super comfortable.
And we're going to more than one a month. So we're making our money's worth.
Yes,
We're-
even if it's even like now when it's a slow month, if we go once or twice,
Yeah.
pays for itself.
Yeah.
The months that we go 9, 10 fucking times.
Speaking of that, I'm about to get the other thing that's going to pay for itself
What's the other
immediately. The New Jersey beer card.
What is that?
So you pay $25 and everywhere you go that serves beer, you get a discount. My dad said he made his money back in like a month. So if you and you know what happened? The other day I went to the shop right down the street from your house, the small one, and I went and they're like, "Oh, you left your beer card at home?" And I went, "Yeah, sorry." And then they scanned their own thing, so I got a discount on all the beer I bought. I got to buy that card. I'm probably going to get it today or tomorrow. Yeah, my dad's had that for years.
This is a thing?
Yes. Everywhere you
It's the summertime, Brendan.
Yes, everywhere you go, discount beer.
Only on beer?
It may be other liquors, but it's mainly beer. So it's still, you're paying for a $7 beer, it's $5 now. Everything.
At a bar?
Yeah. The barn, yes, everywhere. Probably Polos.
Miller's Ale House?
Yeah.
Somebody get this man his keys.
And you know what's funny? When you're on that as well, I'm pretty sure because he's part of it, those beer festivals, like the one I told you, that's like $120 to get in,
probably
because all you
like,
could drink. Yeah, it's like $80.
Isn't it wonderful to be in your mid-20s and now instead of
Yes.
just doing dumb things, we're doing dumb things, but we're looking for discounts and
So,
we're looking for finesses?
The other day, I was on my way to a hockey game and I stopped at Wawa for Gatorade.
Yes.
And I saw a bunch of kids sitting in a parking lot just doing dumb shit, having like a slushie and a sandwich. I'm like, oh,
Okay.
to be a kid again and just be like, oh, just doing the dumb shit. I'm like, wait a minute, no. Like, I'm looking back on that like it's nostalgic and like, oh, it was a good time.
Yeah.
But it just, we were doing that because we couldn't
We
do
had no
anything.
other options. Now,
I still like the COVID stuff though, where nothing was open and you and me would just
Fuck
walk
you.
around with beer and just go places and no one stopped us.
yeah,
That was
because there was
pretty
nothing
good.
going. Yeah, but I was also working like 50 hours a week at 3 a.m.
I was unemployed. It's still raking in that dough.
Yes, you were
Uh,
making as much as I was. Doesn't make any fucking sense. Okay, so we're gonna touch on two more little things before we wrap things up.
okay.
Gaming.
Yes.
Gaming we don't talk about very often.
No, we had the Game Fest yesterday.
There was a Game Fest
Not a whole lot because the
No.
Xbox One is coming out
on
on
Sunday,
So,
and followed by the Black Ops 6 Direct.
yes.
First of all, right? Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
You've been
Brendan,
wanting to talk about
I've been
this.
wanting to talk about this so fucking much. It's little things like this where like international communities come back together for stupid shit.
Yeah.
Right? If you want to talk about it on a smaller, Deadpool and Wolverine is where you had all of the like the fanboys who only like the bandwagoners who hopped on for the two Avengers movies and were like, oh, I gotta watch all of them, I'm a big fan. And then they're just like, the minute Endgame came out, they gave up until now when Deadpool and Wolverine comes out and all the bandwagoners come back.
Yeah.
Black Ops 6 feels like a culmination event of people being like, Call of Duty's back, man! And I can't fucking wait. It's like Black Ops 3, 2.
What I don't like about it is we were playing the first Black Ops and they're like, oh, it's Kennedy and it's Nixon. I'm like,
Yes.
all these historical figures. Now they're like, it's George H.W. Bush. And I'm like,
And
I don't,
Clinton.
I don't like that.
You're like, that's
That's
little
not
too
historic
modern.
enough for
No.
me. I don't like that.
History is like at least 50 years
Yeah, they
ago.
had Colin Powell in it, or
Uh-huh.
Colin sounds like a name, but he could be Colin.
It could be Colin.
Colin.
That'd be a bad
Colin
name.
dot Powell.
Colin Powell.
And I'm like, these people are people I've seen on TV.
Yes.
This is not okay. And also, like, I know this is a video game, but like, is this based in truth at all?
Well, I mean,
like, are you just taking
didn't
shit?
Modern Warfare 3, the original one, go to like the war in Afghanistan?
Afghanistan.
Can
Can I? You gotta scan your Afghanistan. Please put it in the cart.
No, barcode up, please. Thank you. I'm totally fucking here for Black Ops 6, man. There's no shortage of things on this podcast of me talking about how great the summer of Black Ops 2 was. And even after Black Ops 2, I have nostalgia for all of it. Black Ops 2 was great. Black Ops 3, I was there for in high school.
Yeah.
Brian, I think I have like 27 days played in Black Ops 3. If you go to Black Ops 4, it's my freshman or sophomore year of college. Blackout comes out. It's when Battle Royales were a big thing.
Yeah.
So I have nostalgia for that because I remember playing with my buddies in college. Everyone hated the zombies. I thought it was fun. Then you go to Cold War. Cold War came out. I had COVID for 2 weeks and I sat and played that nonstop for 14 days.
I played the first Black Ops, and the first Black Ops.
Fuck the first Black Ops.
Fuck you.
Fuck that shit.
Fuck you.
I'd rather
Fuck
play World
you.
at War.
You're garbage.
Fucking hate the first Black Ops. I hate the color scheme. I hate the aesthetic. I hate all of it.
I love.
I know.
of it.
Everybody else does.
Well, you know why? Because it was my first Call of Duty.
My first Call of Duty was Black Ops 2.
Well,
so
go
that's
fuck
where the
yourself.
nostalgia comes from.
So my first Call of Duty was Black Ops 1. I
Yes.
didn't really play with anyone. I just played the campaign and combat training because I thought that was multiplayer because I was a kid and an idiot.
That's fair.
And I fell in love with it. That Modern Warfare 3 were just like my babies.
Which is fair.
And then Black Ops 2 came out, and you're right. It was the summer of that. Everyone was fucking playing it. You had those online multiplayer
You had
modes
to
that
be
you would play
there.
with your friends, like Mike Myers, Sticks and Stones,
Yes.
Cops and Robbers.
Search and Destroy.
Yeah,
Time
just
made
all
so many
those fucking
friends.
things. It's so good. And you had all these maps, and it was just, everyone was really coming together. And when Black Ops 3 came out, I was like, oh my God, we're getting another Black Ops. It's going to be great. I played the beta. I loved
So
it.
did I.
I loved the
Oh my
fucking
God.
beta. The beta was so good. And then the game came out, and everyone got good. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Advanced movement, but it was done correctly.
Yeah, it was great.
was great.
I loved it. And then I fell off there. And Black Ops 3 is when I really fell off of Call of Duty as like a whole and really stopped paying attention a whole lot. Like, when did Ghost
Yeah.
come out? Was that right after?
That was after Black Ops 2.
So I think I fell off. Black Ops 3 pulled me back in.
Yeah.
And then ever since
But that's
then,
what
I
happened to
really
most
fell off.
people.
And Black Ops 4, I think I bought, but it was never my thing. I never really cared.
It's right because if you look at Call of Duty, you had its prime was up until probably Ghosts.
Yeah.
And Ghosts, you know, there's a subsection of the community that fucking loves
Yeah.
Ghosts and whatever. And then you had Advanced Warfare after that, where a lot of people hated it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I was really good
I
at
hated
it.
Advanced Warfare. It was too fucking kangaroo.
Most people did. I was very good at the kangaroo.
I
There was a
was
lot of
not.
stimulation.
Isaiah was good at it, and I remember playing on the fucking clown map going, stop jumping! I can't even aim this way quick enough. Now I gotta go vertical?
Yes.
Fuck you!
I think I was like 7th prestige. I'm really bad at multiplayer.
Yeah.
I think I was like 7th prestige in Advanced Warfare.
Now that you're on my schedule more, I still have Black Ops 3 downloaded. We gotta start playing again.
Brendan,
Yes.
for preparation, I've downloaded World at War, Black Ops 1, 2, 3, 4, Cold War. I'm very prepared. I also downloaded Vanguard because there's zombies. I have World War II. I have Advanced Warfare. I have Infinite Warfare.
But you're really into the zombies.
Yes.
I like the multiplayer more.
I can play multiplayer. I'm just not. I'm actually right.
Yes.
Call of Duty is one of those things that it takes time. You're either really good at it from the jump, or it takes time to learn and be good at.
Yeah.
Now I'm decent at multiplayer. I'm not good by any means.
So
But I've been playing for like 10 years. So if I was bad, it'd be a fucking problem.
a lot of me and my friends fell off of Call of Duty and everything. So now, especially now that I don't have a squad, now that I'm not playing like private games or whatever, and just constantly doing whatever, I've just fallen off so much. And I was never great, but there were certain Call of Duties that I was decent at and my friends were really good at. But then I was also good at things like SWAT and Halo
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I've
I'm
fallen
fucking
off
terrible at Halo.
at all of it completely. Like Halo 4, Black Ops 3, around there, like it was just, or 2, whatever the fuck that era was just like everything was a FPS and everything was these AAA games. And now all the first person shooter AAA games, I don't like. They feel half-baked.
Agreed.
They're whatever. So now I'm playing more indie games. I'm playing more Souls-likes. I'm playing things like Baldur's Gate still. Like I just started a new playthrough.
I'm just stuck on Overwatch. I can't play anything else.
I'm getting into Overwatch.
Overwatch is the shit.
And it's just like...
Well, no, in terms of fall off, I was there for Black Ops 4, and then I fell off. Modern Warfare, not the remaster, but the reboot was the first Call of Duty I didn't buy over like 12 years.
Well,
and then I came back for Cold War. Vanguard was ass.
Yeah.
Didn't buy that. Bought Modern Warfare 2. Played Modern Warfare 3 for free. That's ass.
The problem is we're finally getting into what I said that the gaming industry needed, but it's also creating a bit of a limbo where these major games are not doing well, so we need more indie developers. And the game showcase that I watched yesterday, most of them were like indie game developers, but the problem is you're looking at it going, I don't know what the fuck this is, I don't know if this is good, it's whatever, but you need those companies to show off their things and us to play them, so you get new things like Helldivers, like Baldur's Gate, like fucking, they're making an Among Us TV show now.
That's not a good example.
With Elijah Wood in it.
That's a bad example of what a TV show is.
But you know what I'm saying? That was nothing, and then it was
and now it's a cultural phenomenon.
Yes, and they're growing these things.
Knives Out, Glass Onion.
Yes.
That was just...
And so, like, you need the things like Call of Duty, which I know you're going to be upset about, and fucking all of EA, and even as much as I love them, Bethesda, it's time for them to stop.
Yes.
And it's time for the new dogs to come in, because these consoles have created this environment where it's okay, because the console jumps were so drastic and so different. There was constantly fighting.
Now it's just
and, like, arcade games, now you have these early games, now we have this new kind of technology.
Now you have these consoles that come out and are like, oh, we have nowhere else to go. So it's 8K, 120 FPS. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then after a couple of years, they take that branding off the box because nobody uses it, and it can't actually push that hardware.
And now you have these giant games that only giant companies can make. Yep. And you have the Ubisoft making the same games about 130 times.
Ubisoft fell off so hard. How does that happen?
Because it's always the same game.
Open,
with a
nothing,
different scale.
Explore a little bit, but there's nothing in between.
Climb something, maybe a tower, maybe a church, who knows.
Fall.
And they just showed off the new Star Wars game they're making.
I don't fucking care about that. Outlaws?
Star Wars Outlaws. I watched it and I was looking at the trailer and everything. I'm like, okay, you may actually have something here, but at the same time, I know damn well you're just going to make it work the same as everything else.
Shit.
And it's crazy because they're just like, oh, we're going to change up Assassin's Creed. We're going to make it do whatever. It's just,
it's worse.
It's worse.
You rebooted it, you had one decent one, and then you just keep making it worse.
Yes, and it's just...
And like even like the whole landscape of microtransactions, right? When it first started, I understand how people hated loot boxes and supply crates.
Yeah.
But boy, do I fucking miss them. The fact that you
You know what I miss? Leveling up. Getting going. I need to get to level 40 to unlock that helmet.
If there's going to be a microtransaction, I'm fine with it being children gambling because I'm so fucking sick and tired of the battle pass, okay?
Yeah,
it doesn't work, especially in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
No.
Nobody likes it. Nobody's doing it. Oh, buy the Black Cell pass too because then it's like an extra $100 a month. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
For what? A skin and a gun? Why am I going to do that when I'm not going to use it?
Yeah. Doing the other
hate
shit, it was flawless the way they weren't making extra money. But
No.
guess what? Stop being fucking greedy.
Exactly.
There were so many times where things I played, like fucking Call of Duty, where they had a
Yes.
fucking Joker face paint in the first Black Ops, and I remember trying to level up in Prestige or
Yeah.
whatever so I can get that. In Halo, they had one
100%.
where I had to sit there and get fucking 150 assassinations
Yes.
to get this mask, and I grinded it out because you gave me goals.
That's
You gave me
right.
a reason to play.
That's right.
You going here and going, oh, you got to level up 30 times. You're going to get half of this content. If you want the rest of it, you got to pay more. That there's no point in me coming back.
No.
What am I playing for? That's like
you can try to milk, right? It's not
Yeah.
good, but you could try to milk a fan base for more money when you have something that they want,
Yeah.
when they can rely on you.
Yeah.
And right now, especially with Call of Duty as the example, you have 7 or 8 years of games
Yeah.
where people are just like, man, there's like 1 or 2 in here that are good, but all of these fucking suck.
Yeah. You know how you make more money? Come up with DLC. You know how you make the DLC
I
good?
miss the season pass.
No.
Season pass was fine. You got your multiplayer maps, you got your zombies map. It was an extra $60, but it paid for whatever during the year.
Okay, that's
I
fine.
miss that.
But I mean, like, things like the new Elden Ring has a new DLC coming out that took 2 years too long
yeah.
to fucking make or whatever.
But it's
it's going to be like
huge.
$40, $50 fucking dollars for this
Yeah.
thing. Guess what? Not a damn person is complaining about
No,
that
'cause it's
price.
basically
It's
another
worth
game.
it. It's
Yeah.
worth it by a mile.
Exactly.
Give us content that's worth paying for, and we'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Or earn, like, I really think that video games need a restructuring. You need games worth what you're buying. We talked
Yes.
about this before.
Especially
GTA,
with games being more and more expensive right now,
GTA,
too.
Baldur's Gate,
Mhm.
all of those fucking things that are huge. I will pay you $100 for that game. I understand the work, the effort, and everything that
Yeah.
went into that. I know I'm going to play this for years. I will give you $100. You want to give me a Call of Duty and have it come out again next year? You're getting $40 and not a fucking dollar more. And if you want to throw in the campaign and make it more than 6 hours, I'll give you 60.
So you got pros and cons here, right? So pros and cons, right? Black
Yeah.
Ops 6,
Yes. Oh, what was 5?
Cold War.
Really?
Yes.
But that was only like Battle Royale. Or was there an actual
No,
game?
that was a whole game.
Really?
You've never played Cold War?
I might
Brandon,
have.
Cold War is the best zombies mechanically with
Oh, wait,
the
is that
least
the one
amount
where
of
they did
content.
the original map but then expanded it a shitload and there's like portals and like graffiti
Yes.
everywhere? Okay, I
Yes.
did like that one. Yeah.
Cold War's the shit.
Yeah.
So the pros and cons, right? It's all this hype about Black Ops 6. It's going to definitely let us down. It is definitely going to have a battle pass. It will have Warzone built into it. It is not going to be what we want it to be. Understandably so.
So I know we don't get political, but
What?
the movies are shit. The video games are shit. The economy is shit. Everything is shit. How long before a revolution happens? Are we at that point yet? Is Call of Duty 6? I mean, Black Ops 6 the breaking point? Is
I
that the
thought
one
we
that
were at
breaks
that
the
point in
camel's
like
back?
2016, but we're perfectly
so
fine.
did
now.
I, but here we are, fucking paying 10% fucking interest, APR or whatever, on a fucking car loan. What are we doing? When is enough? I'm not gonna do
He's
it.
like, I know we don't get political, but
But like
Biden,
all of them,
every single option we have for president for the 3rd election in a row,
Start again. Let's try it again. We fucked up.
burn it to the ground.
200 years, long enough. Let's do it again. And you know what the problem is? We can't.
Enough.
We can't because we're the world police. So if we go away,
We are-
the world is gonna burn. So guess what? We're stuck with it. It's shit, but it's
Continue to
our
burn.
piece of shit.
Yeah.
It is-
Ironically, Timmy and I
Well-
keep talking about moving out of the country.
Yes,
but
Canada.
no,
The healthcare is free, but the government's just as fucked.
my healthcare is not very expensive.
Ireland, they're socialist. But they have an old guy who's in charge and he's got a cute dog.
Okay.
He's a good boy.
And with that, I think we're gonna end the episode. There was a pro to what I was saying about Black Ops 6, but I don't remember what it was. I was also gonna mention Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Yes.
Super cool. Same thing goes. Microtransactions. Fucking tired of it. How is that game going to cost $75? But then it's also every character and every transformation is a separate fucking character that you have to pay for. And there's going to be a battle pass and a season pass and DLC and all of these things. So they're like, look at how big the roster is. The roster's so big because you have one person, but all their transformations are 10 fucking characters. So actually, the 150 characters are like 3 guys.
Exactly. And what they're probably going to do is you're going to have all these different characters, but in reality, you're not paying for different characters. You're paying to unlock transformations. So
Yes.
you've got Goku.
Exactly.
And then he can transform into whatever, but if you don't have those skins.
On launch day, it's going to be Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3, and that's it.
Yeah. And then after that, you're just going to be like, well, you don't have the skin, so you can't do that one, which is going to be cool. Where like if you unlock it, then you can reach that level of
It's
transformation. But if they treat it as a completely separate character like Xenoverse does,
It's just Xenoverse again.
that's what I'm saying. So why
With a
is this
different art
game
style.
happening? And why? I talked to Isaiah about this too. Why is there the same Dragon Ball arcs in every game. It's a video game. You're doing fan service. Make some fan things up. Maybe come up with
That's
a
what
new
they're doing.
form of yourself.
In most of these games, that's what they do.
No, the
It's-
trailer was them. Vegeta turned into a monkey again in the Saiyan Saga.
Yeah.
It's the same
Did you watch
shit.
the whole trailer?
Yes,
because in the
Boo's
end,
in it, Cell's in it, Goku's like, bye guys, okay.
yes, but in the end, they tell you that the events change because they do different things. So one of
The
those clips
events
is,
change. I want overall different. Hey, what's it now? Okay, well, Gohan's grown up still. He's whatever. Oh,
Yeah.
guess what? Oh, look, Goku.
an original
he
story?
turned Super Saiyan 4 finally. Oh, look, Super Saiyan 5. Super Saiyan 11. Who gives a fuck? You know why? It's a video game. Why are we doing the same story arcs
Over and over and
game
over again?
after game after game?
because it's kind of cool to see it.
It is.
I can't
but,
wait to
like,
see. You're telling me that Goku versus Vegeta with this cool art style at 4K 120 FPS on your beautiful Sony OLED TV with the soundbar isn't going to be one of the coolest things you've ever
Maybe
seen.
get rid of Z and Kai and just fucking say, just this is now Super. This is the Super video game. Include only,
Fuck that.
but then add on again. Do
Fuck
some of the
that.
things from the manga. Do some weird new
Dragon
things.
Ball AF
Yeah.
Super Saiyan 5.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
We gotta end it here.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Close this out,
I
please.
feel like that was a short episode.
It's like an hour.
Okay.
Give or
This has
take.
been the Anything Bowl where anything goes. I'm Brendan.
I'm Miguel and I'm tired.
It's like noon.
It is.
Goodbye.